Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, we have a few Chase stories. We'll touch on their acquisition of First Republic Bank. We have Chase with the month of more showing that they haven't spent all their money yet. Then we have the revamped Amazon cards to look at. SoFi breaking into the travel space, and then a follow-up on the Apple savings account that just shows you how powerful the name Apple is when it comes to getting money. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now we will start lead off with our good friends at JP Morgan Chase and the House of Diamond, right? So kind of following up on the whole Silicon Valley deal, the banks, a few banks, having managed their assets poorly, I guess is the best way to put it. First Republic Bank was the next big one on the chopping block, so to speak. They're the ones who ended up getting that $30 billion not quite bailout, but kind of bailout from a few of the other larger banks coming together and kind of giving them a lifeline. Well, it kept them on their feet for a while, but they finally hit the ropes and I guess hit the mat, I should say. And the FDIC took them over last weekend, and then Chase actually stepped up and made the purchase, paying $10.6 billion for the bank. So basically, it goes to auction. The FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the one who backs up all of our money up to, that $250K amount. They put them up to auction, so Chase puts in a bid. Now, there were others in the mix as well. I think PNC was one of them, and even Citizens was in the mix as well. So overall, I find that a little bit interesting. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Chase was going to put in a bid or try to acquire SVB, but they were told no because they were too big, and they are like the top one on the list of like too big to fail banks. But this time around, they weren't too big, I guess, or we're letting them get a little bit bigger, which overall is probably fine. So they do have some agreements in place with them, so Reuters has the story for us. So from the Reuters report, interesting notes here. Of course, Chase will take on most of First Republic's assets. Then they go on to say that Chase and the FDIC are signing a loss-sharing agreement on single-family residential and commercial loans it bought, but will not take First Republic's bank's corporate debt or preferred stock. Chase has also assumed the bank's deposits, of course, and will repay the $25 billion of the $30 billion the big banks deposited that we just talked about. Of course, I believe $5 billion was already Chase's money that they kicked in anyways. So Chase will take on $173 billion of loans, $30 billion of securities, and $92 billion of deposits overall. So that's how that's going to break down. Now, of course, if you were First Republic Bank, well, then, be on the lookout for some stuff. Most notably, as we always say here, a lot of your products will simply be converted over to Chase. So if you don't have any Chase credit cards, now would be the time to go and grab some, just, in case they try to convert over whatever you have. Generally, credit cards are kind of converting them isn't the most important thing in the world, so we may see that news come out later. So there is that, but Chase wasn't done with their spending spree just yet. This is May, and May is actually the month of more for Chase, a promotional offer that they're running where, basically the Freedom cards, the Sapphire, and the Ink cards, so their core cards have elevated earning rates or elevated redemption rates on their ultimate reward points, specifically like when you're going through the Chase shopping portal. So not when you're going like direct to the merchant or the store, but again, when you're redeeming points through the portal, there are some elevated rates through the month of May. So we've got the whole list over there, the promo page at Profitable Content for you, but some examples you might be interested in. So Apple, we're big Apple fans over here. We'll talk about them later. Sapphire Reserve gets 1.5x, the preferred 1.25, and the Ink preferred 1.25 as well. Then all the other cards are getting 1.1x back. So that's when you're redeeming points for Apple products, again, specific through the Chase shopping portal. In addition to that, there are some discounts on gift cards as well that you can take a look at. And they have some other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if the deals didn't rotate through throughout the month. But if you're cash back or you're looking to pick up something, like a discounted laptop or something from Apple, this could potentially be a good way to redeem them. The 1.1, probably not so much, but if you've got a reserve or even preferred, that little bonus could help. If you were going to cash those points out for cash anyways, then yes, this is better. But if you were a travel person, I'm going to guess you'd probably find better value doing the whole transfer partners deal. Kind of up to you, but overall, just remember that you do have to go through Chase to do this. You can't actually go through, the actual Apple store, right? So in your Chase portal, but again, that promo page will take you where you need to be. So if you got your eye on something, let us know down below what you have your eye on, what your thoughts are on those redemptions. Now, Chase, not done yet. This is a follow-up story to the refreshed, sort of refreshed Amazon cards that we were going to see. We talked about it maybe 3-4 weeks ago, but they're officially out for new applicants. And if you're a current customer, then your card's just going to be refreshed naturally. So here we go. We'll just take a look at them really quick because they are popular cards. So we've got two. So they are changing the name and the card art as well, so you can see that. So the first one is just the Amazon Visa. Again, this is basically for folks who like Amazon but don't have a Prime membership. So you're keeping the 3x on Amazon and Whole Foods. You're getting 3 back on the Chase Travel portal, 2 back on restaurants and gas stations. Then your newest perk is transit and ride share in place of drugstores. If you do not have this card currently, a welcome offer has you getting $60 back for Amazon instantly upon approval, and then you can earn 3% back on up to $1,500 in spend in the first 3 months, so that'd be a total of $105. Remember, that is cash, that is not ultimate reward points. And the next one, again, new card art. This is the Prime Visa. This is the one that most folks have. There is no annual fee, but you do have to have that Prime membership, which I believe is like $140 right now. Multipliers, you're still keeping the 5 back on Amazon and Whole Foods. 5x on the Chase Travel portal, 2 back on restaurants and gas stations. Again, you do drop drugstores in favor of transit and ride shares. And then the welcome offer here is a $150 Amazon gift card instantly, and then 5% back everywhere up to $2,500 to spend in the first 3 months, up to $275 total. So there are your new or revised Amazon cards. For the most of us, I don't think anything really changes. The vast majority of people are only using it for that 5% on Amazon, or I guess maybe even Whole Foods anyways. I think this, Chase is making a push for all their cards to direct them to the travel portal. I think even the DoorDash and the Instacart cards get that, and it just makes sense. Again, they spend a lot of money acquiring, CX Loyalty to bring in the travel portal in-house. So, it makes sense there. So I don't think much changes. For me, the Amazon cards still on the list. It's pretty low on the list. These are pretty good offers. I would say I will probably see Prime Day in July. We usually see elevated offers where they just give you a straight $200 for signing up for the card. That's probably the one I would go for, just given how many 5% cards I already have. But if you're in the market, they're worth considering. So if you don't like the Chase Travel portal for travel, then you might like what SoFi and Expedia are working on. So again, we know SoFi is the bank that's all grown up now, got a real banking charter. They have the 2% card. Of course, they're focused on a lot of other neobank products turn real bank when they got their banking charter, basically. But they are partnering with Expedia to make their own travel portal. Now, we don't have a ton of details about this just yet, but we do have some, thanks to a few sources, notably the Deal Guru, and then we have FocusWire with a P, which I haven't seen before, but they had some details on this as well. So again, they're partnering to make this portal, so it's basically going to be the Expedia backend and, SoFi white label, private label, however you want to describe it. So overall, you'll be able to book your natural travel fares, hotels, airfare, rental cars, travel packages, and experiences. There will be discounted pricing and rewards available for SoFi cardholders. The Deal Guru is reporting that they can get 3x back on all travel booked via the portal, which isn't too bad given it's a no annual fee cashback card. Of course, we'll have to see what the rates and the discounts are. We've seen Expedia do this before. I think the travel portal will be fine. It always comes down to the redemptions, but Chase used to use Expedia, so it's possible Expedia is just replacing it with a new partner. Overall, I think the bigger question is, does this show SoFi will push into a travel card, a lower annual fee, $95, $50 range travel card to support this? I think that would be an interesting play given where they're already at and how far they've come. So we'll have to see. Again, no date yet on the launch date of that or anything. So I will keep our eye on it. But if you are an existing SoFi customer, which I guess I am too, but I don't have the credit card, let me know what you'd like to see in their travel portal. Now we move to our last story, which is Apple and their savings account. So last week we talked about their high yield savings account launching. You have to have an Apple card, the Apple credit card, to get it, but then you can just sign up through your mobile wallet. The APY was 4.15, which is really good, considering you can find higher, you can find 5%, but that's going to require people going to a lot of banks and small credit unions that they've never heard of, which a lot of people just aren't comfortable with. And then also, usually there's limits on, the amount of money you can earn that 5% rate. So 4.15, pretty good. So overall, the show's opinion was if you want it, you might as well get it because they're not going to offer a promotional offer. Generally, I like to don't like to open new accounts unless I'm paid to do so, but I don't think they're going to do it. And now we know for sure why they probably won't do it anytime soon, because we have this from 9 to 5 Mac reporting their early numbers from the first week of the Apple Card. So again, it's been out for about a week. They really haven't done a ton of marketing behind it, but in the first day, it saw customers deposit $400 million. That was about 240,000 accounts. Now, in the first week, they saw about $900 million in deposits. Now, this isn't an official source. I think it was actually Forbes through 9 to 5 Mac actually talked to someone, quote, close to the situation and found out what those numbers are. And that's a ton of money in a week, considering they didn't do any marketing except for send a push to most people's phones in the wallet app. If you have the card, I imagine next time you open it up, it said, hey, you want a savings account. That's pretty cheap marketing to do given the footprint of the phone. Those are impressive numbers, to say the least, but that's exactly why they won't offer a promotional offer, because they really don't need to, honestly, because the people they're going after don't know you should be paid to open up bank accounts. $900 million in 405 days. It's pretty good. I can also imagine this is partly going to... I still wonder to see what the split is between, Goldman and Apple on this. There was those reports a while back that, Goldman was losing so much money on the Apple Card, which I think was misunderstood a lot. It wasn't necessarily they're losing money. It was more so they had to set aside a ton of money to make up for projected credit card losses, like people not paying their bill, which really comes down to Apple probably bullying them into wanting to cast a really wide net with approvals and things like that. Part of the card is also they're not charging late fees and anything like that as well. So I do wonder if part of this is going to go to Goldman to help offset some of that risk that they're stepping up to, to hold on to with the Apple Card portfolio. But either way, look, it's a good interest rate. It's probably a good product. So again, if you want it, you already have the Apple Card, you might as well get it. Would I get the Apple Card just for this? No, because again, that's two products without a bonus, and that's just that violates all the rules on the channel. One day maybe the Apple Card, but it's going to be a while for me. So anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. Of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, because, of course, we are posting content just like this every single week, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use, and, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, where we have the latest card offers, bank bonuses, and news stories just like this. Of course, question for you. Let me know what you think about these stories. Amazon card refreshes. Did you open an Apple account or Apple savings account? Love to get your thoughts and your experience on that. Of course, what else have you seen going on in the news as of late? Love to get your thoughts on all of it. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon this week.